Hello snowboarders of the internet, I am your host TC, and today I will be reviewing the Borealis Artefact. And if you're interested in this board or any of the other boards I mentioned in this, make sure you click those affiliate links down below, and that way you don't have to go searching the internet yourself. This board is equipped with Borealis' cam rocker profile. So what that means is you're gonna have a long rocker section in the nose here. You're gonna have camber underfoot all the way pretty much about to the Borealis logo, and then you're gonna have a smaller rocker section in the tail. So what that's gonna do is that larger rocker section in the nose is gonna give you that float that you're looking for, where the rocker section in the tail is gonna give you a little bit more ease of entry in and out of those turns, and that camber section is gonna give you all that pop, power, and stability that you're looking for in a free ride board. The Artefact comes in a 152, a 158, a 161, and a 164 wide. I rode this board at Copper Mountain where it was a beautiful sunny day. We got about 8 to 10 inches of snow the night before, so it was just an all-time day. The trees were pretty much the best riding I've had all year, where those things were fresh. They stayed fresh all day. The groomers were groomed at some parts, untouched in others. Towards the end of the day, it did get chundery, it did get beat up, but you could find all of that fresh snow right on the sides of the run still with zero issues there. So overall, super solid day. I used my Ride Fuse boots and my Jones Mercury phase bindings. When we're talking overall flex on this board, it is coming in at stiffer than the middle of the road. That being said, it's not a total plank or anything like that, where the nose does feel a little bit softer because you do have that larger rocker section. And I really didn't feel the rocker section in the tail too much, especially flexing into the board. So it was a little bit stiffer, I would say, than the nose is. And when I was torsionally flexing this, it does match the overall flex of the board. So I pretty much had to put a little bit more effort into that to foot steer this thing. But I mean, it translates right on over to the stability portion where this board was stable and damp. Like I was able to go through those chewed up sections and just blast right through them with minimal leg fatigue. I really didn't even notice half the time when I was just cutting moguls in half with it. So it was nice and stable there. Since this board is a 161 and I am on the lighter side of their weight spectrum there, it did take more for me to load this thing up. It did have a good snap to it though, so once it did get loaded up, it returned that really well, where it might have taken me a little bit longer, but it returns it tenfold, so not that big of a problem there. What was really nice about it though is like taking it off of side hits and off of some of the smaller drops that were in play that day. It has a lot of really good landing gear there. Since you have that smaller rocker section in the tail, it holds up really well. Even landing a little bit more backseat, it held me and just brought me right back down for a nice smooth landing. So feel free to take this thing off of side hits, drops, it'll hold up for it, no problem. And it's just gonna land really well for you. So even if you do edge to the side, to the toe side, to the heel side a little bit more, you're gonna be totally fine. The thing is nice and stable on landings and takeoffs. While I have you here, you might as well like, subscribe, click that bell, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of our scheduled programming. As I mentioned before, I am on the lighter side of this board's weight range, so buttering on this thing took me a little bit extra there, where when I was buttering on the nose, I really had to shift all of my weight forward and really get this thing off the ground there, where you can tell, even probably by watching this video, how thick this board is pretty much all the way to the contact point there. So that's just gonna give you a little extra girth, a little bit extra hold there. So when you really are leaning into that butter, you're putting all your weight into it. And same with the tail there, it's gonna be even more. Like I was able to wheelie this thing in the fresh powder, no problem, but I was leaning fully back and it held me extremely well where I didn't ever go backwards on it, but it just took a lot of my energy to get this thing to butter on both ends. And that's because it's on a little bit on the bigger side and it's just so thick pretty much, where not really made for buttering. It will, but you don't really have to. And the one last thing I will say about it, when I was nose buttering on this, it was surprisingly catch free. Like I was very pleased with, even though I had all my weight shifted and had terrible form when buttering just because I had to, it didn't snag or catch on anything out there. So I was very happy with that. And for a board that doesn't really want to butter, you can still butter on it. Just make sure you're gonna throw extra weight. Carving. This board can rip any carve. It was super fun, even in really tight trees. I had zero problems carving this thing. I was able to just wiggle it right on through, where I didn't really expect that, especially for having a 61. I was like, maybe I'll have to plan ahead. I didn't. This thing turns really well. And even when you get it out of the trees in those medium and those larger carves, I had zero problems. Even in the middle of the run where it was super chundery and just push piles everywhere, this thing just cut right through it. I never lost the edge on it, so I didn't feel out of control whatsoever. And yes, it will Euro carve. Even through a mogul field, you'll still be able to get this thing all the way around. Just super comfortable. And honestly, this thing wants to turn. So go ahead and get it out there and make it turn. Rider in mind. This board is made for that more advanced intermediate to just straight up advanced rider. They're gonna take this thing all over the mountain, and that means all mountain, not freestyle. But they're gonna ride this thing pretty much free riding exclusively. Just wanna go out there, make some turns, doesn't matter the conditions, and they just wanna have a good time in a board that's gonna pretty much take everything they put in front of it. They wanna hit drops, they wanna just go and just burn up the groomer. You can do it on this thing. If you're looking for another way to get involved in the Angry Snowboarder community, head on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. What is it, you might ask? Sure, I could explain it here, but I don't want to waste your time because we have a great video over there getting into it really in depth. This board was great for the day I rode it on. Like, we had that fresh snow, we had pretty much variable conditions wherever you went on the mountain, which was great because I was able to put this thing through the ringer, have it go off of some smaller drops, have it pretty much go through tight trees, through almost everything that the mountain had to offer that day because we had the green light to pretty much send everything. And this board held up really well. I was very stoked on it. It's a great free ride board, especially if you need something with a little bit extra girth to it. If you're a little bit bigger of a guy yourself, I would highly recommend this board. Super fun and super stable. Comparable boards: the Jones Flagship, the Ride Moderator, and the K2 Passport. Recommended bindings: the Jones Mercury, the Rome Katana, and the Ride C8. This has been my review of the Borealis Artefact. If you're not completely sold on this board, why don't you go check out one of the comparable boards just so you can make an informed decision.